That breaking news, we have been following an update for you now. An OFD responding to a building fire near 11th and Locust at around 11 o'clock last night. This is the scene from our CityCam network. Now, officials say there was no injuries, but there is evidence that squatters were present inside and outside the building. These damages are estimated to be at $75,000. The cause is still under investigation. In the meantime, it's good to have you with us as we begin this Thursday morning on our First Alert 6 streaming. I'm Erin Hartley.
I'm Cerise Cole, and with meteorologist Jan Lansford, Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord. Once again, we are talking about a frosty morning out there.
Yeah, some places getting a little colder than yesterday, some places a little warmer. Now, that's the story with days like this. When the air is very calm and still, it can vary a lot. And temperatures range a good 10 degrees across the city right now. And thanks in part to this layer of clouds that has developed just a thin little stripe. And this can trap a little of the heat that the earth emits and keep it at the surface and cause our temperatures to bounce around a little bit. So with that has developed, we're near 40 degrees officially at the airport. Now, the coldest we've been so far is about 37 the way it looks. So, again, pretty similar to what most of the metro had yesterday. And this stripe of clouds here trying to be a bit of a wild card right through the middle of the metro. So, freeze warnings in place for the metro to the north and to the east, where many places in here have fallen off into the low 30s, even upper 20s, but the metro looks like it's going to be spared. Little urban heat island there helping out, plus those clouds. Frost advisory to the south, where it's a little more prevalent. You'll probably be just above 32. And you can see where the temperatures are compared to the last 24 hours, compared to where we were at 7 o'clock yesterday. Some places like Omaha, Plattsmouth, just a little warmer. Shenandoah as well. Some places a little bit colder. And that's how much things can vary on a calm morning like this. You can see 40 Omaha, 41 in Bellevue. Look at Louisville, though. Down in the valley of the Platte River, 29. 30 in Murdoch, 31 in Wahoo. So it can vary a lot. And you just kind of break this down by counties when the frost and freeze warnings are being issued. And you can see, aside from this little pocket right here in the middle of the map, there are a lot of 30s and upper 20s that are plenty cold enough to get a frost and even a light freeze in some of the areas. So wind gust forecast out of the northwest, pretty light as of right now. I don't expect anything stronger than about 10 miles per hour at worst today. And you can see that little stripe of clouds showing up as of right now. And as we march through the course of the day, we'll take the 30s this morning and 40s, turn them into 50s by noon, and a very similar afternoon on the way. 62 by 2 o'clock, 65 by 4. And it looks like that's going to be almost a carbon copy of yesterday. Now, tonight it's a little different. We are going to see the temperatures drop off quickly after sunset, but fall off to near 40 degrees. And then here come the clouds rolling in, and that should cause us to plateau or maybe even jump a little bit with our numbers and help us avoid frost in much of the area for a third night in a row. So by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, that is where we start. And then we go to 61 with quite a few clouds, 57 on Saturday. Small chance of a couple spotty showers, maybe even a little patchy drizzle, but it's likely that most of us stay dry this weekend. It's going to have quite a few clouds.
Okay, looking ahead already to that Saturday forecast and just the weekend in general. What can Husker fans or just fans of Nebraska look forward to?
Pumpkin patch viewer.
Pumpkin patch fans, fall fans. This is kind of actually the last weekend to really do some fall stuff, I should say, because it's November next weekend, so a lot of the Halloween stuff might be over.
That's the thing, and a lot of the corn mazes are starting to fall over, a lot of the leaves going off the trees as well. So the way things are looking, it's going to be a pretty cloudy weekend. Whether you got Friday night high school football, maybe going to a pumpkin patch Friday night or into Saturday. A lot of clouds, temperatures in the 50s by Friday evening. Some chilly temperatures there. The Husker forecast with an 11 o'clock kick has a lot of clouds as well. Temperatures in the 50s from kickoff all the way to the end of the game. And like I said, a little drizzle, maybe a shower. Very spotty, tough to nail down specifically, but I don't want you to be surprised by any of it. Right now, I kept the rain chances out, but there could be a little bit maybe while you're tailgating. And then we go to 63 on Sunday with a little patchy drizzle. Monday's the best chance of actual rain. I think we're leaning more to the afternoon and evening hours with that into early Tuesday with that system. Tries to cool us down a little bit for the middle of next week, and then there's your next chance of a frost or a freeze. Haven't officially got a freeze yet in city limits. And I'd say Thursday morning is probably our next bout. But there's the Halloween forecast too. That's looking pretty good as of right now. Right around 60. Again, hard to complain too much. That's about where we should be. So it lines up like a pretty typical Halloween.
Okay.
I don't think the kids will mind.
Yeah. Give them candy. That'll be good.
All right, let's get another check of how that morning commute is looking. You've got a new crash to tell us about, unfortunately.
Yeah, we've had a couple of these pop up here over the last 10, 20 minutes. So let's start on Blondo Street, and that's where we're seeing some slowdowns that are taking place as you make your way just off to the east of 680. It's at the intersection with 100th is where the report came in. You can see we're not doing so hot on our travel on Blondo in this area with quite the delays in both directions. So this might be a morning where you maybe go to Maple or down to Dodge as an alternate. Probably Maple's a little bit of a better option because, you know, Dodge just gets so busy it starts to get delays on its own during that peak of the commute. So we'll keep an eye on that, keep you posted on the latest. Also have 52nd in Harrison, where Harrison is slowing down right in this area, particularly westbound. You can see how much that's slowing down in this area. So be ready for that if you're heading to that area. It could be some emergency crews working that scene. A couple of other slowdowns that aren't crash related. This is JFK ramp to go to westbound I-80 is now about half an hour or so, been pretty slow off and on. You've kind of been watching this flicker between orange and yellow for how much those delays are affecting things. Thankfully, you get a little further down the JFK, things are moving pretty well and a whole lot better than yesterday morning, that's for sure. And then one more spot. Can we do a traffic hit without talking about I-80 delays? Right around Giles and Q. There's the obligatory delays that we're seeing there. Thankfully not getting back into 680. We're getting close to having this project wrapped up. So we've got just about a couple of weeks before we should be seeing this be done and be a thing that we could put in our rear mirror. But for this morning, be ready for delays in that area. You can see that a couple spots on Dodge as well are just a little sluggish. Right around 50th, you get closer to 72nd. Things are not quite up to speed this morning. So we'll keep an eye on each of those. And of course, those crashes, we're going to circle back on those here in just a little bit and give you the latest.
Sounds good. Jared, thank you. To your news now, a motorcyclist is in the hospital this morning after a crash in North Omaha. We are told by Omaha police the driver of the motorcycle suffered serious injuries. This happened yesterday evening near 30th and Laurel. OPD says investigators believe the driver of the motorcycle was going northbound and entered the southbound lanes of South 30th Street just before the intersection. Well, that's when police say the motorcycle collided with the side of a turning SUV. Omaha police adds no one was hurt in the SUV.
Well, the fourth person involved in a violent kidnapping case has now learned their fate. Ashley Bordeaux was sentenced up to 16 years in prison for attempted kidnapping. Last fall, a woman told police she was meeting with a man to sell an iPad when she was bound with zip ties and forced inside of a car. The victim claimed the group threatened to kill her before she eventually got away. 4 people are now sentenced in this case.
All right, so I'm at the safety desk with Maria. We're talking about seniors who still like to travel. They want to have a good time, but there are some experts are giving advice on some things they can do to stay safe.
Yeah, when you go on vacation, you want to be prepared and enjoy your time, right?
Yeah.
So if your retirement plans include travel, experts say that planning before you hop on that plane or get in that car, that's really the key. So the first thing you want to think about is your medication. Experts say it should be packed in a carry-on luggage. You should also bring a list of medicines you take and all the conditions that you have in case there is an emergency. Second, doctors say you want to protect yourself from the flu, COVID, RSV, especially right now, it's respiratory virus season, through a vaccine.
Consider wearing a mask on the plane if you know you don't want to kind of get even just a cold can kind of put a damper on travel plans.
They also say compression socks can really help to protect your legs and feet, especially if you're in those long car rides, if you're sitting on the plane for a while. If you are traveling more than 4 hours, you want to make sure to get up at that point, maybe even before, stretch your legs, move your body around. I know my family, we always have to pull over at a rest stop, get out, walk around for a little bit and get back in the car. Also work that downtime into your vacation plans too, so that you don't push yourself too much.
This is like good information for all of us as we travel. So that's good. All right, Maria, thank you. We're back after this short break.
All right, time now 7:14. Taking a live look outside, a bird's eye view of the Woodman Life Tower on your screen. Lights still up in the metro downtown area. Sun hasn't quite fully come up just yet. It means it's getting more to that.
Yeah, daylight hours.
Yep, fall back time. Okay, in the meantime, also another indicator we're getting closer and closer to winter. Well, it's just cold outside this morning, so bundle up.
Yeah, down in the 40s and quite a few 30s. We're right around 40 degrees for most of us. So take the jacket with you. Same gear you needed yesterday, take it today. Sunglasses needed as well. Few more clouds to start the day, and that's why our number's a little bit warmer in the metro. It's just a narrow little stripe of clouds that's moving off towards the east ever so slowly. So frost, freeze alerts. For the most part, what's happened is most of the metro has stayed fairly mild. It's outside the city limits where things have cooled down just a little bit, and that's where we have the freeze warnings in place. 30 to 34 in many spots in the light blue. Dark blue is just a tad warmer, but overall, you can see how the frost potential has played out. Now, 33 in Bennington, that little stripe of clouds caused the temperature to jump a little bit in the last hour. But Louisville, you stayed out from underneath the clouds. You dipped to 29, 31 in Wahoo. Elevation makes a difference on a morning like this. If you're down in a valley, you're much more likely to get frost than maybe up on a hill. And same story, look at this, low 30s outside the metro in Nebraska, and then in western Iowa too, in the valleys of the less hills. So we all kind of start to even out as we head towards 9 o'clock, near 40 there, mid 60s for an afternoon high. And then as we go towards the middle of the night tonight, what we'll see is, first off, a big drop right around sunset. Temperatures tank about 10 degrees, it looks like, and then we'll settle down to near 40, and as the clouds thicken up tonight, that'll cause our temperatures to kind of plateau. So I doubt we're going to deal with any frost or a freeze tomorrow morning, as we'll bounce around 40 degrees, and then a near 50 for a while, and no sign of a frost or a freeze all the way into the middle of next week. As a matter of fact, it'll be Wednesday night into Thursday morning, the way things are looking out there. But let's talk a little bit about the clouds that are going to thicken up during the course of the morning and into the afternoon on Friday. Spotty shower possible south of the metro on Friday in our southern counties. You can see a couple of those trying to sneak in after we go to about 61, and then the temperature just kind of stays there. It'll try to drop a little bit overnight, and then we'll climb a little bit more on Saturday from that morning low. But again, I think we're kind of parked in the 50s all day Saturday because of the clouds. So keep that in mind for any travel down to Lincoln or whatever you're doing to soak up a little fall this weekend. The clouds are going to keep things cool. So you'll want sweatshirts, jackets. Any showers Saturday mostly stay to the southeast, but it looks like the clouds will win out, and there might be a little drizzle from these clouds. That's the main thing we'll watch here. Drizzle there, drizzle potential on Sunday as well, and a few more showers. A little better chance of rain, at least heading into Monday as well.
All right, so Monday, you said we're going to get some showers. What time can we expect them so we can make our plans?
I would say Monday is trending more towards afternoon and evening hours.
Okay.
So I don't think we're going to see those impact the morning drive on Monday. So for those viewers watching, thinking about work week next week, there's where the rain's going to be by about midday Monday, and then it tries to move in. Could be a few more evening showers, maybe a thunder shower here by the 10 o'clock newscast on Monday, moving through, and then some of those could linger very early on Tuesday. So overall, I don't expect those to impact the entire day. Again, we'll narrow down the timing as we get a little bit closer. And then a couple things showing up. I mentioned next potential for a frost or a freeze probably lining up by Thursday morning of next week. And then you got the Halloween forecast in there right now. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, next weekend, daylight saving time.
I was just checking that. Yes, it is.
So Saturday night into Sunday.
Right after Halloween?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
There's
probably some weird combo of over-sugared kids that don't get a
Not
sleep.
great.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
Yeah,
As
it'll be
paired with
interesting.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of that as a 4-year-old parent here.
We'll think of that nightmare next week.
Oh boy.
Can't think of that right now. Okay, something we do want to talk about right now, though, kind of a traffic nightmare for folks at 52nd and Harrison.
Yeah, if you use Harrison, you're looking at all sorts of delays that are in place this morning. You might want to start thinking about a different route, because anytime we start seeing the road completely show up in orange and red, that's never a good sign for what it means for your morning drive. So there's where we're seeing the crash, 52nd and Harrison, and we've got it especially westbound is really been struggling, but eastbound not doing a whole lot better. So if you're in this area, it might be a good idea here. If I could zoom out here, you can see some of the alternate routes maybe around here. There's not anything that's real close, but Q Street's doing better at this point, so that might be a good option to avoid that you're seeing right around 52nd and Harrison. Not the only crash that's causing delays. This is what it looks like 100 and Blondo, and eastbound on Blondo showing some delays. Westbound not moving real well either, but it's doing a little better than the eastbound traffic. That just off to the east of the 680. So watch for that one in the early going too. Otherwise, it's mainly construction areas where we're having issues. I-80, of course, with those delays. And then also, I've been noticing this be a kind of consistent feature the last few mornings as you go northbound. Highway 6, it's also 204th. Right as you get toward Q, we've had some delays as you go northbound. That's the case again all the way back to Harrison. So be ready for that to be a slow spot for you this morning. Most spots doing pretty well. A little bit of a slowdown there on Highway 370 around 48th. Watch for that. But it's mainly those crash sites where we're seeing our big delays. And so you might want to avoid Harrison, use Q instead as you make your way through that area around 52nd. And I'll keep an eye on that on Blondo as well. Maple's a good alternate route for that. That's moving along pretty well here in the early going.
All right, Jarrett, thank you for keeping us informed. Thanks. Happening today, Omaha's Metro Transit Service will host an open house. Riders can weigh in on proposed service changes, including increased frequency and hours on 5 of the Metro routes. It's set to go from 3 to 6 at the Exarban Transit Center. You can also submit comments via a form that's available on the website.
Also happening today, it's your chance to weigh in on changes to an Omaha park. The city plans to upgrade Tranquility Park. Officials are looking to improve the soccer facilities, update lighting, and add new restrooms and concessions. The city is hosting an open house. It's at Saddlebrook Community Center from 5:30 to 7.
Coming up, the spookiest merch to hit any menu.
Ooh, the return of a fall favorite at Mickey D's. Why you don't want to miss it when we come back. Welcome back, everybody. McDonald's is celebrating the upcoming spooky season with the return of a specialty menu item.
The fast food giant's Happy Meal Boo Buckets are now available nationwide. The lineup of 5 bucket characters includes a ghost, a pumpkin, and a goblin, just to name a couple. New for this season are a cat and a zombie.
I like the bucket. Cat.
I know. Yeah. The buckets are they come with stickers that kids used to customize to their liking. Those are fun.
Yeah.
I remember those when I was a kid.
You had Boo Buckets?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
I never got a Happy Meal when I was going, but I remember seeing the picture.
You remember the picture?
Happy Meals were always too expensive.
I don't know why I thought we were going to be talking about like Grimace dressed in a costume or something.
That would've been cool.
The Grimace shakes again.
Maria, did you have a boot bucket growing up?
I don't ever
I don't
remember
remember
it.
them either, but I like them.
Yeah, it's cute.
Those.
Cute idea.
All right, everybody get
That
one.
and Monopoly coming back. There you go.
All right, thanks so much for joining us this morning. We're going to get ready for our update on the Today Show. Of course, you can watch it here on streaming or over the air.
Have a great start to your Thursday.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Thursday morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Erin Hartley. A lot to talk about traffic-wise, especially if you frequent Harrison. Here's Jared Lansford.
Yeah, we've got two crashes that we're looking at this morning. And starting off with this one here in Harrison, right about 52nd. You can see the big delays that are in place as a result of this. And this is going to be an area that you want to avoid. Here's what you can do. You can use Q as your alternate route. You are looking at some delays that are showing up on Harrison as a result of that. So make your way to Q as your alternate route. Let me show you this other crash too. This is 100th and Blondo. Getting word that there may be a road closure on Blondo as a result of this. So use Maple as your alternate route for that one. Hopefully we don't add any more crashes onto these. We're looking at big delays and impacts as a result of those two crashes, Rusty.
Thanks, Jared. Car heaters definitely on again this morning as temperatures have fallen off into the 30s to right around 40 degrees. A little stripe of clouds trying to mess with the numbers a little bit, causing them to bounce around a little bit. So we've been hanging out close to 40 the last couple of hours, at least officially at the airport where the official records are kept. But you can see it varies a lot around the city. 33 Bennington, 29 in Louisville right now. So this map has a 10 to 12 degree range on it because of the calm, cool conditions and all that cold air settling down into some of the valleys. Very prevalent outside of the metro as well, with upper 20s and lower 30s, widespread frost and even a light freeze for many of us. We'll rebound just like yesterday, up into the mid 60s, but tonight clouds roll in and that should keep our numbers from falling off to that frost level. Get down near 40 pretty quickly and then kind of bounce around again heading into tomorrow morning, which is a little bit warmer. Aaron?
All right, breaking news. We have been following a busy night for Omaha fire crews. OFD responding to a vacant building near 11th and Locust. Officials say flames were seen upon arriving, but the fire was out quickly. No injuries to report. They say evidence of squatters was present at the building. Damage is estimated to be at $75,000. The exact cause is under investigation.
It is 7:28. We're back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then.